Welcome in, Moose with the box. LSU, they fall to Tennessee 3-1. They've lost five straight SEC series. Headline there is on the broadcast you saw earlier. They put up it'd be the first time since 1977. We talked an awful lot about the run LSU was on. All right, are we back? Sorry, the live stream is game schedule with uh 3 game series. Like, there were weekends where you would go on the road and play a double header and then leave, and that was it. Like, that was the series. And then uh the next week you'd play three. And then the week after that you'd play, two, and then you'd meet up with the team again and play another. Like, the schedule wasn't the way it is. So in this schedule model, this is the first time this has ever happened. In the modern era, this is the first time something like this has ever happened, and it's just, forgive me, the comment disappeared. Um, I'm not sure who it was. Said it's the same thing every game. Yes, it is. It is the same thing every game. It's what we talked about. It's what we talked about last night after the Friday night game. Was it just hasn't come all together for them in one game yet. Not enough. Like, the only time I can really look at that and say that happened was game number 1 against Florida. You had everything working. Other than that, you've had great pitching. You haven't had the offense, and that's what happened today, and we'll get into that. Or you've had the great offense, and you haven't had the pitching. Or you've had great offense, great pitching, you kick the ball around. It's been 1 out of 3. It's never been enough for them, and the clock is ticking. And I mean, look, you have a tall task tomorrow. You have a lot of arms available, and you've pitched really well so far this weekend. Like, you've given up 9 runs in 2 games when Tennessee averages close to 11 per game. You can't ask for anything more. Um, so I mean, you should feel good going into game number 3 with how you've pitched, but you don't, because you've lost your last 5 game threes and gotten run ruled in 3 of them. You're just kind of waiting for that to happen, right? Which isn't any way to look at it. Um, it's just kind of where you are. Um, John Melanson, I was going to get to that. We can get to it right now. He asked, hated putting in Griffin Herring when they did. What are your thoughts? So, it was Holman's 3rd trip through the lineup. He had just had the no-hitter broken up. Um, you had Dreiling coming up, leading RBI guy. It's an incredibly tough spot. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I know that's not the answer anybody wants to hear, but, like, I would have had a bigger problem with it if he wouldn't have gone to Griffin Herring. I mean, you were going to the combination that's been great for you. So I can understand his reasoning there. At the same time, I can look at that and say, Luke Holman is rolling. He's given up 2 hits. It's only happened to this inning. He's at 91 pitches. Like, the pitch count's fine. Give him a shot to get out of it. He's gotten the guy out every time he's faced him. So I can absolutely see both sides. Let me put it this way. Would I have taken Luke Holman out in that spot? I would not have. But Jay's the head coach. He's a national championship head coach, and he went to your best bullpen arm. So it didn't work out. Herring left a slider out over the plate. The kid smashed it. That's a really tough spot to be in. I would have left Luke Holman in. Jay didn't, and I can see his reasoning for not. The story of the game, though, is your offense just went into a hole for the 2nd straight day. And not even really in a hole. Your offense went into a hole when you had runners on base. LSU left 8 runners on base, the majority of those in the first 3 innings, where, I mean, you should have broken the game open. Like I told y'all and we talked about this on the preview. We talked about it after the game last night. I thought LSU had a great chance to have success against Drew Beam, and LSU did have a great chance to have success against Drew Beam. They got him for 8 hits, I think, but 1 run. You were 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. The second inning's the biggest black eye of them all, and oddly enough, that's the game you scored a run in. Like, that's a game not the game. That's the inning you scored the run in. You get the leadoff double from Braswell. Kling draws a great walk. You put the pressure on. You force the issue. Milam lays down the bunt. And then, throw the ball away. You score a run on that error. And you have second and third with nobody out. And Alex Milazzo punches out. You're saying, okay, that flips the lineup. Here comes Jared Jones. And then Jared Jones punches out. That is a scenario you have seen from this team over and over and over again this year, where they have had runners in scoring position that you could score without the benefit of a hit, and they punch out. Like, we can look at the strikeout numbers for this team and talk all we want about them. Strikeouts are going to happen in the game of baseball. The bigger issue with LSU punching out is the situations they're punching out in, and it's been a lot of situations like that. Like, I could go back through every game and find all the scenarios where you've had runners in scoring position or runners that can be scored without the benefit of a hit and see how many times they've struck out. But I'll be quite honest, my mental health is not strong enough to do that. So I'm not going to. Seth Rushing, is the season over? Stick with me. I'll come back to that. I wanted to say one more thing, and then I'm going to take a lot of comments from y'all, actually. So, offense. I mean, it has not been nearly good enough. You've had spurts where it really looks like they're starting to turn the corner, and then it just goes up in smoke. That wasn't even really a gut-wrenching loss. Like, it's not it's not like the last 2 game 2s or 2 out of the last 3 game 2s where you had your heart ripped out. You were up 1-0, and it didn't even really feel like you were winning, because it's like, okay, Holman's going to have to throw a shutout to get this done. And in that ballpark against that offense, Ola Tiger, it is not 7 straight SEC losses. They won the Georgia series to end the regular season last year. It is 6 out of 7 losses, which still stinks, but we're not gonna short many wins right now, because God knows that just wouldn't be fair. So 6 out of the last 7 SEC series losses for LSU. The last thing I will say, and then we'll get to your comments. Luke Holman was awesome today, y'all. He had a no-hitter through 5 1/3. He was awesome. That's what I wanted to see from him. We talked about that. You had his great starts at home, a few struggles on the road where he battled hard, but you had the black eye of 10 hits given up or 5 walks given up and 5 leadoff men reaching base. You didn't have any of that today. He was awesome. Like, he was awesome. He looked like an ace on the road for the first time this year. And that's an incredibly encouraging sign going forward, but you got to have other things. And that's the thing. Like, we can pick encouraging signs going forward, but it's not enough. It's because you're not having it come together all at once. All right, Seth Rushing, and then we'll get to some comments here. Seth Rushing asked if the season was over. I will give you the same answer I gave you all year. No, it's not over, but it's fair to ask this: is it too late? That's the fair question, because of course the season isn't over. I mean, the math, as long as the math can still math, and it can. No, is it going to be really tough? Yeah. Like, if you don't win a game tomorrow, if you don't win a game tomorrow and at least steal one, you're going to have to sweep multiple series down the stretch, but the math would still work. That's why I say it's more fair to ask when they play their best baseball, because they will. Like, they will. They will figure it out. They will get hot. They will go on a run. Every team does. The question is, will it be too late? Will it be too late when they do that? Like if LSU figures it out with 2 series left, yeah, it's going to be too late. Like at that point, you might not even make it to Hoover. So they have to figure it out. Like tomorrow is as close to a must win as you can get at the halfway point through conference play. It just is. Do I think LSU is going to win the game tomorrow? No, I don't. I'll be quite honest with you. I don't. I think they're getting swept. Ivan Salazar, yes, you have plenty. You have plenty. Actually, I'm going to come back to that. The High Calvinist. Musso's a local media guy, so I expect him to punch Sunshine. Y'all have been waiting for me to cuss. I'm a cuss. Buddy, that is fucking laughable if you think I'm sitting here pumping Sunshine when what I literally just said, they're going to get swept. That's laughable. Absolutely laughable. Anyway, I don't even remember what the question was. The other question from Ivan was. Oh, yeah. Do they have anybody to pitch tomorrow? Yeah, plenty. Plenty. Yeah, you got let's see. Hurd, Coleman, Coleman, Gidry, Ackenhausen, Lure, Yoa. I mean, yeah, you got arms. You got plenty. But you better figure it out on Sunday. You better figure it out on Sunday because you've lost 5 Sunday games in a row, 5 game threes in a row. And that's the best day to win a baseball game is game number 3. Because either you're salvaging a game from the series or you're winning a series or all those to go the opener route. But he threw 51 pitches on he threw 51 pitches on Tuesday. I can't imagine they start him. I'll tell you this. I think you start Thatcher Hurd tomorrow. That's what I think that you do. And you just have him on a short leash. Like if you get Hurd through the lineup 1.5 times, I think you feel good because of the guys you have in the you have the guys that you have in the bullpen available. But you have to go all in. Like you have to go all in tomorrow. Like I don't care if you're down 5 runs, you throw your best arms. Like you have to freaking play this game like it's your last like it's an elimination game. Like if you don't win, your season is over. Because you get swept tomorrow, and yeah, you have to sweep multiple series down the stretch, and they don't have that in them. So tomorrow is as close to the season's over as it can get. Like if you come out of this 3-12, y'all, that's rough. Parker G, is it possible for Sam Dutton to slide into a Sunday role? Sure. I guess it would be. He did that as a freshman, but you're going to open yourself up to more of an opener. Like Sam is not going to extend long enough. And this team does not have the solid enough depth in the bullpen to go the opener route consistently. Like you could do it tomorrow just because of what you have left and the quote unquote top arms that you have left in Ackenhausen and Gidry and Hurd and guys like that. So that's why I'd be okay with them doing that approach tomorrow. That Big Mill, that's the question. Do you have anybody who can hit tomorrow? And specifically, do you have anybody who can hit with runners in scoring position? Because, the pitching's been awesome, y'all. Their pitching this weekend has been good enough to win this series. The offense, and specifically the situational hitting, has not. And that is the cold, hard truth. And what's more than that, we said it right off the top, it just hasn't come together enough for them in a game. So, yeah. It's Joseph Lee. You're never going to hear that, bud. Sorry. That's not my job. My job is not to sit there and just curse a college baseball team out. And you just, that's not going to happen. Oh, look, Vanderbilt and Texas A&M. I can't think of something I'd really rather watch less right now than that. They got work to do. That's for sure. Tomorrow is not, and I'll say it one more time. I don't think they win tomorrow. Like I think LSU's getting swept. I hope I'm wrong, but I think LSU's getting swept. So yeah, y'all smash the like button. Connor Wilkinson for Tennessee tomorrow is Xander Zekriest, something like that. He is a crafty lefty, not going to overpower you. Um, Relies a lot on strikes and location, but fastball is going to probably get to like 86, 88, somewhere in there. So it's not, and there'll be plenty of opportunity to hit, but it's just, can they? And I mean, right now the answer is no. So, yeah, Ola Tiger, you're right. These are not fun. These suck. I hate doing these a lot. Like it's not fun sitting here and talk about. It's not fun to just sit here and talk about them losing 5 series in a row, and it's made even less fun by the fact that I don't think anyone expected them to be in this spot. Like y'all, we could talk about this. It's we highlighted this stretch so much that, like, man, can you split home and away? Can you come out? Can you come out and win your series at home against Florida? You're probably gonna lose the one at Arkansas. Can you come and win the series against Vanderbilt? Lose the one at Tennessee, and we thought they'd take that one at Mississippi State, and then you'd probably be somewhere around 7-8, 8-7, or whatnot. You feel great. They've lost all 5. It's been a total disaster. Like, it's been a total disaster. How's that for sunshine? It's been a total disaster. Losers. All right. Man. It's, we'll see. Y'all be on the lookout for the full weekend recap. That'll be dropping tomorrow. I'll probably be feeling better. Not because LSU's going to win, but because I'll be boiling crawfish all day tomorrow and watching the Masters and watching LSU. And there will be beer involved. So, y'all smash the like and stick around. We'll be here continuing coverage of the 2024 LSU baseball team.